Atheist, giving you another tip breakdown on an offensive scheme. I'm going to be using the Eagles as my next team, and I went ahead and decided to use a couple plays out of the playbook. And the Eagles got a lot of phenomenal plays. Really a great team if you like to do screens, because every single formation they have has screens. I'm not a big screen person myself, but I know there's a lot of screen play out there, so you want to definitely take a look at the Eagles playbook. Some of the plays look kind of dead to me. I never really had any success with bubble screens, but when I started looking through the playbook, looking for a set I was going to use for my next gameplay with the Eagles, I ran upon these two formations, which is the split slot and the slot offset out of the gun formations in the Eagles playbook. Specifically the slot offset play formation, primarily because it has this really unique auto motion, and it sets up multiple different plays, such as the Eagles cross screen, the mountain inside zone, the play action halfback swing, the mountain Y cross, the mountain triple option, and the mountain spot. A lot of great plays in this play set, and I think I've been able to develop a scheme built around these plays that can really, really annoy and bother your opponent. So let's go ahead and take a look at the audibles out of the gun slot offset offense, which is the split slot offset. All right, so the base play I'm going to come out of is going to be basically the off tackle run, and basically what it is that you're just going to be having your running back, which is McCoy in this particular situation, your number one running back. He's going to be running off tackle. I do want to just give you a heads up that the second halfback is actually in this formation. It's a set. It's two halfback formation. I did put Selleck in, which is my best blocking tight end, inside the slot position, just so I had another strong blocker. Selleck in this game actually has extremely good blocking. I think as high as run blocking is 80. So that's why I put this in there. Usually it's the third wide receiver that's in the actual slot. So this run is somewhat unique, is that basically it's just going to be pushing the line. The line is going to be pushing off to the left-hand side of the formation, and I'm going to be looking for the double teams and where the hole is. So I got a little double team right here, able to pick up a couple of yards with Shady McCoy. Let's go run through this a couple times and see how many yards I can pick up. There you go, able to get the outside run right there. Got the block in the outside. He was able to pick up a good 10, 12 yards. Let's see if I can do it one more time. I'm going to do a pinch down the line. And there's a nice little hole right there. And then I got the block up top on my second running back, which is Sproles. So that's a fairly self-explanatory play, but the reason why I want to actually have this run play go to the left is that there's a complement run play, which is the mount inside zone, that goes off to the right. And it's right down the middle. It's a run right down the middle, and there's a lot of deception. But you can't be successful with this run without using the play action halfback swing. Now, the play action halfback swing is good when you have off coverage or you know that you have zone coverage. So this play might actually get blown up in the backfield, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I've got the off swing, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add an extra blocker by putting Sproles on a wheel route. So let's see how this works. One thing that's extremely important is that you actually get rid of the ball immediately. So you don't want to sit on it, you don't want to read it, you just want to dump it off and take it what it gives you, the way this play is set up. Now, there's press coverage right here. So what I'm thinking right now is I'm thinking that this is going to be a man coverage. And usually what I've been labbing that this is not necessarily a good formation or defense to run against. But if you know if your opponent is running two-man under underneath you with press coverage, that allows you to open up other things with your play calling. But let's go ahead and show this, and let's see if I can pick up any yards on this play, or if I get blown up in the backfield on this route. Once again, I've got to get rid of the ball immediately, because the blocking on the right-hand side of the line is going to be atrocious. And if I don't get rid of the ball immediately, I will get sacked. I cannot sit on the ball in this play. And actually, I was able to go ahead and get some pretty good yards. I was able to pick up a few yards, but there was a player out there. So let's just take a look at this in review. All right, so watching the play develop, you can see this man coverage. It's pressed. And then I've got another man coming over right now. I've got another man trailing. So in this defensive set, it looks like there's probably someone's manned up over here. and that was allowing me to actually get somewhat of a corner. So that was a good reason. That's a good reason why I actually had an extra blocker out there, so it gives me some blockers. But it's just as quickly as I let go of the ball, you could see that that other defenders get there, and I've got 4 defenders I got to beat with 1 blocker. Not a good situation in man coverage. So if you see a formation or you see a defense with press coverage like this, it looks like it's man coverage, you're probably not going to be able to get away with that play action swing route. So let's go ahead and take a look at the other plays that complement this. All right, so the other play that complements this is the other audible, which is the mountain inside zone. And what it's going to do is it's still going to run that running back. He's going to still be that play action halfback swing. He's going to still have the motion, but what's going to happen is it's going to hand off to a halfback 2, and he's going to be able to go right up the middle. So let's go ahead and run this and see how this works. And if you can see, it gets really weird, glitchy type blocking where the offensive lineman actually turns. So let's go ahead with the play one more time. There you go. The holes were there. I just didn't find them. One more time. There you go. Nice little hole right there, right down the middle, able to pick up some pretty good yards. So that's a nice complement play that I'm actually going to be running to either to the right-hand side or right down the middle against my opponent. And if he starts cheating over to that running back in that auto motion, then I'm actually starting to win the mental game against my opponent, because now he's reacting to some of the things I'm doing on offense. So let's take a look at into the next audible. All right, so the next play you can audible into is the slants middle, and this is actually a good play to defend against any type of man coverage. Now, you can see that both the corners are pressed down, but the linebackers are actually off a little bit. So this is either some kind of a blitz. I'm probably thinking this is some kind of a cover 2 shell, maybe with a blitz on the outside, but these corners are going to let these wide receivers release after the press, and I'll probably have some kind of heat. So I've got 6 men blocking on this set, which is really good. So if you are going against an opponent that likes to use blitzes and nanos, I've got 6 people blocking, and I've got 4 people in routes. What I like to do, though, be able to if I have the time to let the play develop, I like to take Macklin and put him on a comeback route and have it like this. So my progressions are going to go from left to right, left to right. I'm going to first look at Selleck and see if he my inside slot receiver and see if I get a free release, and then look for the spy over the middle and try to hit that guy if it's some kind of a zone coverage or if he gets the free release. Also, I can always turn back just a slight, wait for Cooper, which is the flanker wide receiver, to see if he gets open. If it's man coverage, you're both going to follow. One of the two is going to beat the defender, so I know the slants I'm going to get a beat. It's just I can't throw into the spy, so I got to either hit it before the spy or wait until the play develops. I've got the running back running into flat, and you can actually go ahead and take the running back and put him into a wheel route. But I like the flat because it just stretches the play out a little bit further and actually will pull down any kind of a flat zone that might fall back into Macklin's comeback route. So you can always go ahead and leave it the way it is. And then finally, I've got the comeback route. If it's man coverage and I've got a spy over the middle and he's not sending a lot of people at me, I've got to wait for this play to develop, but I might be able to hit Macklin on the comeback route. So I'm thinking this is going to be a cover 2 shell, so I'm probably going to be looking for Selleck over the middle. And that's exactly what it was. It was a cover 2 shell, and I was able to go ahead and hit Selleck over the middle. Now we got off coverage right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take Macklin. I'm going to put him on the comeback route. I'm going to look for for Selleck or Cooper over the middle, and then if I do have the free release, I'm going to try to hit Macklin for a big hit. But I got to let that play develop. It takes time for that to happen, and if you throw it prematurely, you'll get picked off. So it's critical that you do that. All right, so he's on an island, and as you can see, the icon showed up, and I was able to go ahead and hit that comeback route. So that's actually just a very annoying thing to defend against. Once again, I got off coverage. I got the comeback route over here. I'm going to look over the middle for something over the middle. and he actually had a kind of a flat zone coming over. That's why I was able to hit the guy in the middle, because it was the way the zone was set up. So this is a nice little compliment, and also what's good about this particular play is that you're taking players going over from the left, the slants, going to the middle, and then I've got Macklin for a deep hit in the back, depending on what kind of coverages they have. Let's take a look at with man coverage really quick, because I'm not going to wait for the random to show up. All right, so you see the press. You've got everybody press the corner, the slot, the nickelback corner is pressed on the tight end Selleck, or my slot receiver in this zone. This is what I'm going to be looking for when I see that it is man coverage. And when it's a man coverage, I know that I can't do some of the other complementing plays unless I decide to run the ball. So what I need to do is actually go ahead and take advantage by using this slants play. So let's watch Selleck over the middle. He doesn't get a clean release, but Cooper does, so I'm able to go ahead and hit that. Let's go back to this play again and see what happens. Watch Selleck. Cooper gets a free release, able to go ahead and pick up a good 10 yards on that, on the inside pass lead. Let's see if we can actually go ahead and hit the comeback route. Takes a long time to develop. Corner got stupid on that play, very unusual. Usually he'll go up with the receiver. So let's see if we can hit it again one more time. Icon. See how long it takes for that play to develop. So if a guy's blitzing you, you're probably not going to be able to hit that comeback route, so you have to read those slants as your first read more than anything else. And look at the inside by Cooper. He's able to pick up 15 yards for that, so I'm just waiting on that. So, you know, that's something you take into consideration, but this is a really good compliment to somebody that starts manning you up. So let's take a look at the final play in this set. All right, and the last play is the shakes audible, and basically I'm going to make 3 adjustments. I'm going to make my reads from right to left, and the first thing I'm going to do with the shakes is I'm going to go ahead and take Macklin, and I'm going to go ahead and smart route his C route, or his circle route. Now, if you can see right now, if you look at this real closely, Macklin on the right-hand side does a little in route, which is like a direct slant. Then he gets about 5 yards out, he goes straight up, and then when he gets to the 15-yard line, about 15 yards out, then he cuts straight to the sideline. A C route takes a long time to develop. Generally, if you're playing against an opponent, even with just basic a 4-man rush or a 3-man rush, it takes a long time to develop, so your quarterback is going to be running all over the place. So what I like to do is I like to make this read quicker, and I do so by actually going ahead and smart routing it. Now let's take a look at it again. Now, can you see, it's very subtle, but if you compare it to the red route, red C route by Cooper, and you compare it to Macklin, Cooper's goes all the way up to the 15-yard line and then cuts in. Macklin is short of it by a couple yards. So actually, instead of 15 yards depth, it actually gets about 12 yards depth. And I can tell you that's a light year in time when you're playing the game. Now, what I want to do too is I want to take McCoy and put him on a hitch route. And I want another blocker. I'm a big person in having 6 blockers for routes. So I'm going to keep Sproles in to block for me. So my reads are going to be from the following side. I'm going to be looking at Macklin first and trying to dump the ball off. Now, if a linebacker comes over into Macklin's area, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check down McCoy, which he's going to be hitting a little hitch route. And then finally, if Macklin is covered and McCoy is covered, I'm going to look at Selleck, either right down the middle of the lane where he gets all the way up until the 15-yard line, about 15 yards out, or if he does a little crossover to get a little bit deeper, about a 20-yard depth. So my reads are going to be the right to the left. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this play works out. Now, I forced this ball. I just forced it to see if I can get rid of it, but you can see it's off coverage, so Macklin's going to get a free release, and he does that little move, and I'm able to go ahead and get rid of that ball at the 10-yard line. Now, this defender is actually in the area, but it looks like he's actually trying to take care of McCoy, and I was able to get it past him. So really the smart thing is to go ahead and check down to McCoy, see that that's open, and then see if I can go ahead and hit Selleck over here over the middle, because it looked like the guys were just kind of giving me a gap right there. So let's go ahead and hit it again. Right there, I was able to hit McCoy underneath. There was just a big void. I'll take the easy yards. Back to it again. Easy yards. Looks like it was man blitz. Able to go ahead. The blitz is going to just get eaten up by a good running back like McCoy. Or any kind of man coverage is going to get beat like that. Got a void over here. And I actually forced that into the tight end. Looked like it fell back in coverage. I want to go ahead and see how this works out. So this is press coverage. It looks like it's a cover 2 shell. Got another defender right there. And as you can see right now, McCoy was a right read. I should have definitely kicked him down. He was wide open. Probably could have picked up a good 15 yards right there, but I forced it over to Selleck just for this tutorial to walk you through this. So let's try. And as you can see right there, I was able to go ahead and hit Selleck over the middle just because of the way it falls out. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in instant replay. And if you look at the coverage, you got a guy coming over here to Macklin, so I know that's taken away. Probably going to hit McCoy underneath it. There's actually a little bit of a smarter route because there's a big void underneath there. But that defender's cheating down and able to hit Selleck over here over the middle on that because there was a void in between it. So I was able to get a good 20 yards, actually a touchdown on that based on a broken tackle. So this is actually a really good play to actually incorporate, and it's a stock play that you actually can use in your scheme. Now, what gets really interesting is using some of the other complementary plays. Remember, our base run play is going to be the play that we're going to use as far as with this set, this slot offset set. So halfback off tackle is going to be my base run because I want to have a double running attack, or at least a couple different runs that I can hit my opponent with. But if you look at some of the other plays that incorporate that play, the halfback swing route, you got the Eagles cross screen, so you've got that halfback swing you can hit over to the left, and then you've got another you have another screen route going to the left-hand side. Now, the problem with the way the back-ended the screen is that there's no blocking, and it takes more time to develop than the halfback swing screen. So, plus you don't have any blocking either. The wide receivers are taking off. You also have the mountain spot, which is got a spot route, you got an underneath route, and then you have an angle route that gets really good separation against man coverage. And then you have a mountain wide cross as something to incorporate too. And if you wanted to do option, you could do that too. And there's a couple other plays too that you could utilize if you wanted included in the screen. But I like this. This is just a very intriguing offense to me, and I think that it's something that I'm going to kind of incorporate in my offense, and I'm probably going to my next gameplay just to see how it annoys my opponent, because it seems very, very effective. So if you like tips like this, if you think this is kind of unique, I'm sure that someone's broken down this offense before, but if this is stuff that you like, hit the like button. Also, I'm just curious what system you guys are on. And people that watch this stuff, and you've obviously gotten to the end of it, tell me what system you're on and what your gamer tag is. I'm sure that people within the community are looking to improve their games, want to share their tags. So, go ahead and tell me what system you're on and what gamer tag you're on. I really appreciate all my subs. I hope this stuff helps you because I know breaking down schemes and trying to understand how they work is not an easy thing to do. It takes time. It takes time every day. So maybe this helps you understand these plays a little bit better and how to be better at Madden player. So once again, thank you a lot for my subs. I really appreciate your support, and until next time.